It all seemed a bit over the top. There's only so much you can determine from looking at moon rock. A change in the moon will lead to a change on Earth. 1969, I thought to myself. Well, that's interesting. Maybe I am onto something. It turns out that along with the 24 public trips to the moon, NASA had taken a further 56 trips, including sample collecting rovers. And that is a big problem. I work in a lab identifying the mineral composition of space rocks, as you would call them. My lab works closely with NASA, and we are constantly looking at moon rock samples and checking for mineral variances as these samples are taken from different locations on the moon. NASA has been to the moon 24 times since 1969, and each time they bring back with them a surprisingly large amount of moon rock. It all seemed a bit over the top. There's only so much you can determine from looking at moon rock. And with NASA planning to launch moon rovers to collect even more samples, something just didn't seem right. So I decided to look into it a bit deeper and do some of my own research. The moon's mass is roughly 1% of the mass of the Earth. And due to how connected the moon and the Earth are, a change in the moon will lead to a change on Earth. So I started looking into different natural disasters that occurred on Earth to see if I could find any connections. I started looking into our rising sea levels and found that they started rising in 1969 and have been rising ever since. 1969, I thought to myself. Well, that's interesting. Maybe I am onto something. Next, I needed to find out just how much rock NASA had taken from the moon. According to the NASA scientist who's responsible for recording and cataloging samples, he said that the Apollo missions brought back 842 pounds of moon rock. But he went on to say that there's close to 10,000 tons of moon rock in NASA warehouses. It turns out that along with the 24 public trips to the moon, NASA had taken a further 56 trips, including sample collecting rovers. That was all the info I needed. I was definitely on track. It is known that the moon is slowly moving away from the Earth at roughly 3.8 centimeters each year. This is called a lunar retreat. As this happens, the moon has less impact on our oceans, creating less of a tidal bulge and in turn raising sea levels. Because of the large amount of moon rock taken from the moon, in recent years the retreat speed had sped up to 15 centimeters a year. And that is a big problem. We are also starting to see a compounding effect, as another factor to the moon's retreat speeds are when major changes occur on Earth, such as when the supercontinents broke up or rising sea levels as we are experiencing now. So the state of the moon has a great effect on our sea levels. So in order to stop this from getting any worse, we first need to strengthen back up the gravitational pull of the moon by returning the mass we took from it. But the moon rock in itself won't be enough. Due to the increased retreating speed, we are going to have to add extra mass to the moon, so we're going to need to add a further 100,000 tons of rock from Earth and add it to the moon. This will allow the sea levels to equal out again and reduce rising. And as for the problem of the moon's retreat speed increasing, the extra mass will help slow it down. Back hopefully to the 3.8 centimeters each year. From my calculations, we have 10 years until irreversible damage occurs. But for every year we wait, we'll have to add another 100,000 tons of rock to the moon to counteract how far it has drifted from Earth. Me and a bunch of my colleagues have begun talks with NASA on how to best return the moon rock. NASA wants to keep the moon rock, so we decided that we are going to use beach rock instead. We are still in talks, but when we find the right beach, we will be looking for volunteers. So stay tuned for announcements on your local radio and news stations. Thanks so much for letting me share this with you. Hope you have a great rest of your day.